right, have a seat, everybody. So what's it like watching an episode like this with a giant room full of people screaming?
I mean, we were standing off to the side there. I don't know if anybody knows, but I mean, we were, you know, at each sound you guys make, I get crazy chills, like goosebumps all over the place. So yeah, it's the most exciting thing in the world.
So yeah, you saw it up there. We can finally say that new episodes of Voltron will be on Netflix August 4th. So what can we look forward to in season 3?
Lotor. Sort of carry that through. I mean, Lotor is our big reveal, even though maybe he was slightly revealed unintentionally a little earlier. I think everybody, what's great about this episode in particular is that it sort of teases a little something for every character, and you see, you know, Pidge continuing her search for her family.
Hunk continuing his amazing cooking skills.
Growing as a chef every day.
How many episodes are we going to see in season 3?
So we are going to see 7 episodes in season 3. It's a smaller drop, but there is an upside to this. The next drop will be in October. I mean, maybe you want to elaborate what the sort of idea is behind that.
I think the idea is to get you guys more Voltron more often so that you don't have to wait quite so long in between each drop. And just, we'll be dropping it in smaller doses, but you'll get to see it more.
It'll carry you through the dark times.
You can always come back for your fix. Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's start with the loss of Shiro. Yeah, real sad. Conspiracy. So especially Keith, but the whole team is really struggling with this absence. You know, what's in store for them while they work to rebuild the team?
I mean, you know, I think the interesting thing is that there's loss on both sides. So I think the Gauler are dealing with sort of reconstructing their team, and so is Voltron. And so, I mean, obviously Keith takes it the hardest, but I think everybody's genuinely affected by it.
Yeah, I think Shiro was kind of the glue that held that team together. As long as he was there, you knew things were going to be okay. Shiro was always going to have a plan. And now that you've taken that out of the equation, you have these 4 paladins left with no real leader figure to look at. And so they're kind of struggling with that. And they know they need to find someone to continue on with Voltron, but they just don't know exactly where to look.
Pidge continuing the quest for her family in this episode. Bex, what can you tell us about playing that character and continuing the search in season 3?
Well, it's really fun to have, like, Pidge has a drive, such a deep, deep love for her family, and she's just determined to find them, and she keeps getting closer and closer. So it's been fun to kind of play that throughout the series of, like, the excitement as she finds something new, and then the devastation as something falls apart, whereas as it doesn't pan out, or when it does, we don't know. But yeah, so she's got more avenues to explore through this season, which I'm excited about.
And visual evidence too, which is that's more than she said.
And Corinne can help.
Yeah, I mean, just hearing the crowd react to, like, the sight of Matt on the screen, that's exciting for us, because it means, you know, as an actor, you're doing your job and sort of selling the emotion of all that, but the story's playing out, and you guys genuinely care about the whereabouts of these characters that have probably had, you know...
Yeah. Did I hear you guys gasp? I thought I heard a gasp. Collective gasp, yeah.
He's a character that we've really not seen outside of still pictures or video footage, and yet so many people care about him so much.
I think that's partly because of how much you make Pidge love her family.
Or how much you make Pidge love her family.
Both. You can both pat each other on the back.
Tyler, it's really great to see Hunk in this episode kind of bring everybody together through food. I love that he's kind of this positive force on the team, and certainly kind of seems to be trying to keep the peace with everything going on. What's in store for Hunk this season?
Well, I think in the absence of Shiro, I think Hunk is planning on converting the remaining 4 lions into, like, space food trucks. And just, you know, go around to planets in need, or just, you know, hungry denizens around the universe, and just provide food. And just in the meantime, you know, we still have goals and plans. Still got some things to take care of, obviously. But, you know, in all seriousness, there's the one thing I will say about the food and the levity that Hunk brings, it's juxtaposed very, very starkly against how dark this season gets, I think. So the levity and the zany, I'll use the word zaniness of this season. There are some episodes that are so wacky and weird and one-off because we have to counterbalance how intense this season gets. So Hunk really has, I think, an integral part of bringing the levity. And I'm glad to do so.
Speaking of zany, is there an episode that rivals Space Mall this year?
Yeah, Space Mall, yeah, I would say for sure. Space Mall is very special to our hearts, though. So. Who, by the way, Carlton Ecker, the official Carlton Ecker, Benjamin Carlton Ecker is here.
The real man Carlton Ecker is here.
There
He's
he
with our crew over
is!
there. That's the real deal Holyfield right there. Hey, I also just wanted to say that Hunk in this episode definitely showed his prowess as a fighter now in piloting.
That too. Yeah, there's some pretty cool maneuvering going on these days with Hunk. He's found his legs. He is a leg, you know? He's found his leg.
Over to Tyler during the corkscrew part and was like, that's awesome.
That's right. And,
I got chills on that, for real. I had goosebumps and chills when I saw that. I was like, yes, he's arrived. Confident Hunk.
Let's talk a little bit about the Blade of Marmora real fast. They're obviously working to help build the coalition in the absence of Voltron, but we saw that some of the people that they're freeing are not trusting of them at all. What was your kind of thought process behind their storyline this season?
I mean, they're going through a similar thing that Allura went through pretty early on, right?
Yeah, I think when you've been dominated by like a certain, we have this one alien race that's been out dominating the universe. Not everyone knows that there are people within that race that don't believe that same
Ideology.
Yeah, so they just assume every Voltron person is going to act in that way. So they do have a prejudice, and they will have to go through that same journey that Allura went through of realizing, hey, even Voltron know that that's bad.
And it adds a dynamic where I think, you know, we could have very clear-cut good guys and bad guys, and I think the good thing about our universe is that there's a big gray area where people are still trying to figure things out.
And they're super awesome.
They are. They're space ninjas, guys. I mean, how can you not like
I love
space
their
ninjas?
running.
Like space ninjas. Yeah.
And I guess let's talk about Lotor. Let's do it. People have been so excited to see Lotor since the fake cow footage at WonderCon. Right? I remember that. So he's obviously got a different approach to leading than Zarkon did. What about the creation of his character can you tell us?
I mean, I think that was something we talked about pretty early on. Zarkon was like, you know, for all intents and purposes, just an evil dude. I think hopefully we'll get to explore more of what made Zarkon Zarkon, but Lotor has a completely different approach than Zarkon had.
Yeah, when you're setting up a show, you really need to make sure that your villain is a villain. And that was, Zarkon was our approach to that. This is our villain, he's clearly a bad guy. Maybe later we can break into his character a little more and figure out what makes him tick. But we established bad guy.
Yeah.
Lotor, we got our wheels under us, we got our feet under us, we're going with this show. You know what it's about now, and so now we can play with our villains a little more, and they don't have to be 100% bad from day one. And that's really what Lotor is. He's still not a good guy, but he's definitely got a different approach from what Zarkon does.
The best bad guys are bad guys that you feel for, right?
Yeah.
Always the bad guys that you can find a little bit of yourself in.
See where they're coming from. If they have a plan that's not necessarily the worst plan, they're just going about it in a really bad way.
Right.
And you got AJ to play him, and he's just...
We gotta talk about that guy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys are all curious.
Who is the voice of Lotor?
AJ Locascio, who is an absolute genius.
Voice actor.
There he is. Handsome devil. Who couldn't be more excited that we're actually talking about Lotor, because he's had to keep that secret on all his feeds.
And that is not even a real accent. He's just amazing at accents.
Yeah. And also played, I think, Marty McFly in
Yeah, he did.
Telltale Game or
He's
something.
been in The Cruise. I don't know what the role was.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, he's amazing. He's super versatile and
And the nicest guy ever.
nicest guy in the world.
It's
Go
what you want
follow
from
him on all of his
It is what
things.
you want from the
Blow
dog.
his Twitter up. I'd love to see him just like get 1 million followers.
Please do.
Yeah, do it right now.
I want that
Everyone,
too,
right
so
now,
we're
let's all
getting
take
1
5
million people to
minutes.
follow him.
I kind of want to, you probably don't want to give anything away, but I would just want to mention Lotor's like Justice League of bad guy friends. Super awesome. I'm assuming we're going to learn, first of all, their names, but second of all, like what they do this season.
Yes, I mean, we can't say that they're his confidants, they're his sort of top generals, and I think moving from, what you've seen of the Galra Empire before, this is a much heavier female representation within the Galra ranks.
Yeah, so Lotor being like the open-minded guy that he is, I think he just, clearly you can see his generals are not even full Galra, they're half-breeds. And so he's not quite going down that very staunch, like, the old way is the only way road that his father went down. He's open-minded. He's looking for the best people to do the job, and he found these 4 women that really kind of fit his way of going about things.
I think too, he's like, like if you watch a film like Gladiator, when you really think about it, Maximus was like, he was the hero of that story, but his ideology, when you really think about like the Roman Empire, he's kind of a jerk. So I think Lotor sort of falls into that same-ish territory where I kind of agreed with what he said. I understand his methods, like we were talking about up here, but the Galra is still very much the Roman Empire,
And if you can have somebody on your team who can turn invisible, like, that's a great,
Yes.
great one to have. All right, so we're gonna get some fan Q&A here in a bit, so line up for that. But before that, I want to get to, as everyone stands up, oh my God. We got some announcements. So all of you here will receive a SDCC exclusive poster created by the Voltron crew. Put that up. Or you guys already got it.
Or not.
There it is.
So you guys can connect that one with the previous one that was released, and it's sort of...
Like, what was that, WonderCon? Oh, New York.
Is that in New York? Yeah, if anybody was in New York,
Yeah.
guys.
Sorry, guys.
Speaking of art, can I really quickly commission some fan art of like Lotor as a Roman general with a toga? I need this now.
Can I showcase some fan art that I'm wearing right now? I don't know if you can get this on the screen or not, but this girl, Alexandria, has made these like original Voltron shoes.
I think those are upside down technically, yeah.
There we go.
These are hand painted. You should follow her. Let me just make sure I got the right information here. Her name is Alexandra Lee, and she's at Art and Alexandra. At Art and Alexandra. Anyway, those are pretty cool.
I mean, the amount of art that the fandom creates is just astounding, and the amount of high quality art and the amount of art that oftentimes looks better than our silly scribbles, it's insane. I mean, you guys are the greatest of all time, for sure.
Best fans ever.
All right, so you guys, on top of that cool poster, you will also receive a copy of The Rise of Voltron, a new chapter book from Simon and Schuster, hard to say. Also, so if you're here, which you are, you must go and stop by Hunk's Food Goo Replication Station. There. Yeah, it's at Petco Interactive Zone. You get some free food goo daily through Sunday.
He's slanging some goo. Get some.
The team up here will be at Fandom Fest, also in the Petco Interactive Zone at 2 p.m. for a Voltron cosplay meetup. Wow. Yeah. And through Toys R Us, Playmates has released the highly demanded combinable die-cast lions. They are available at the Entertainment Earth booth and in Toys R Us stores this fall. That's pretty dope. Seasons 1 and 2 of Voltron are going to be available for download on a number of stores on July 24th, including iTunes.